Hey everybody, I wanted to make this video to show what I did with my Pro Armor doors on my Razor. Now, these Pro Armor doors are full doors. They're nice. I like them. But I had a problem with the stock latches. Now, this is a 570. I'm sure these probably fit on the 800 as well. Not sure about the bigger machines, but if you have Pro Armor doors, you might be familiar with this issue. So I know there's other parts that are probably available to fix this situation, but I just wanted to try something different. So this pin here is a fixed pin. It does not go up or down, and it hits the frame of the whole door assembly. As you can see, it's taking the paint off. There was a rivet in here, it came out. I could always rivet it back in there, but I just wanted to try something different. I mean, it shuts, it still holds. I'm using a screwdriver to open the door, which can be avoided if I had ended up putting another, like I said, another rivet in there. So what I ended up doing is I ended up buying on eBay this piece. It's called a spring latch, and you could pause the video if you want to here. The spring latch is a 5/8 steel ramp gate weld-on piece. There's two of them. I'm going to do both doors. It was $18 for two. And then I bought 4 of these bolts, which are 1/4 thread and 1.5 inches long. And the door itself measures on the top, it's 1.25 inches from side to side. So I figured I'd give myself a 1/4 inch more. This is about 1/8 of an inch, just over 1/8 of an inch. But you could see the bolt sticks through a little bit. I cut the washer so it's flat on this side, so it didn't interfere with the bolts that are sticking out the rest of the way there. So what I did is I took a small drill, I clamped this. I'll show you. I just clamped it like that, and off to one side, and then I drilled one hole, and I left a small drill bit in there to kind of hold it, and then I went over here and I clamped this side, and I drilled the other side, and then I used a bigger bit. Let's see, I used a bigger bit. I used the Wait a second. If you can see it. It won't focus. I use the 13/64 bit, which is the correct size to use with the 1/4 tap. And then I took the next size bit up and drilled only the aluminum after I unclamped the spring latch off of it. That got me to put the bolt through the door easily. And then what I did is I brought this spring latch over to the vise and I tapped it with the 1/4 tap, so the bolt would go right in there. I straightened this piece up. I used a big adjustable wrench here, which is pretty huge. I put it on here and pulled it straight. I closed it tighter. I pulled it straight, most of it anyway. And then what I did is once I had this on there, the pin wasn't going through yet. So what I did is I took some clay that I had, sitting around. It was my daughter's class. She let me use it. Got 8 pounds of it. So I put the clay on, and this is not working now. I went around and pushed it in there, and I took my time, and I used both my hands. So I'm trying to hold the camera right now with, and it sat around there, and it was nice and perfect. You can't tell now. But then I center punched it, drilled a small hole, and then I ended up using this step drill bit until I got the hole to be the right size for the pin to fall into. I cleaned it up with a file on both sides, real nice, and ended up having it so the pin goes up to it and then falls right into it. I think it works great to get in or out from inside or from outside. It just the pin falls right into it. It's perfect. The end of the pin, as you can see, is tapered a little bit here on the end, so that once it gets close to the hole, it just pulls it right in. They came like that. I did not taper the pin. It works out great. But if you got Pro Armor doors and you're sick of the setup, you can do that with what pieces you already have on the assembly, and just buy those spring latches and those couple of bolts and have at it. If you have a tap and die set, if you don't, hopefully you can borrow one. But I think it worked out great, and hopefully this helped some people. I didn't see any videos like this, so I figured I'd make one and show you guys what can be done. Alright, hope this helps.